Let it rip.
And we're back with green. We're going to start quickly with a box topper. It's a 2-2 Kato. This was initially hyped as a big, good standby target. I thought that hype was completely overblown, and the better promo was the Utaha. And price now reflects my opinion was correct. Avoy, this card is a 2-2 that gains 1k for each of your other game trait characters, so it's usually sitting at like, what, 10k, right?
10-5 with full field, 9-5
10-5, sure.
otherwise.
And at the start of your encore step, if there are no other rested characters in your front row, you may pay 1 to rest this, because someone is somehow reversing an entire standby field. Again, I've got my opinions on what the better standby targets in this set are, and my opinion is that they're all blue. And this card is mediocre at best. But again,
there is a standby deck that doesn't work with blue, or that doesn't put in blue. Where you play like the 1-0 Utaha stock charge combo, and then like the Eri that stock charges you Utahas. And then this will usually die because it's just 7-5 or 8-5, and then you pay 1 to encore your 2 Soul Beater. But even in deck, I've thought about like the 2-2 Izumi isn't that much worse, because you never hard cast this from hand anyways. So this is not worth the price tag, basically. This was 2k yen at one point, which is ridiculous. It's like, now it's half that, and it's still not worth that much. It was like a common in SAO.
I mean, people are just trying to copy SAO, and they're doing a terrible job of it, to be honest. I don't think you play this card if your goal is to be like standby SAO. I just played the blue standby deck. It's much better. This is, in my opinion, it's...
I think there's merit to the other deck, but this card is like... This card is not the one of the keys to why that deck is good. This is just one of the cards you play if you have it, but you can easily replace it with another card, I guess, with the 2-2 Encore. It's just a recurable 2 Soul Beater that can stand by out, basically.
Yeah, moving on.
Yeah, isn't niche. Okay, next card. Utaha, Reliable Senpai. I think that's it. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yes, so this is the 002k. When your Climax is placed in the Climax zone, you may bounce this to your hand. If you do, give one of your other characters 1k to the next end of your opponent's turn, and when your Climax is placed in the Climax zone, you may pay 1. If you do, check the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 game or novel character to your hand, and then mill the rest. So you can stack these in any order. If for some reason you want to do them in a specific order, you can do the Amagi effect, the pay 1, check top 4 first, or you can bounce first. They'll both go off. They don't have to be field. Don't worry about that. What this usually is used as is like a way to get some value out of standby, and then opening up a spot for your standby target if you have a full field already. And it's also just a good advantage card in general.
This is just a good card.
It is one of the better, one of the better cards of the set. Yeah, this is like, it's the card that I think makes standby work reliably. Or this and the green level 0, I think. Yeah, it's like a... Go on.
The only negative this card has is that I like the non-foil artwork more than the foil, which is a bit triggering.
God.
Yeah,
it's like the worst thing I have to say about this. This makes this like the best card of the set, probably.
No, I don't agree with that. I think the other green level 0 is powerful than this, honestly.
The Clock Searcher.
The clock check top and take a standby Climax. I think that's the more powerful card.
I like this more.
Yeah, right. We can agree to disagree. This is still like a good card. Like good is probably right. Alright, next card. Is that in
While
response
Rex
to
is
this
dying
card?
over here, I'll cut it short. This card is very disappointing.
This card is so expensive. Why does Japan have it as like the most expensive double R? I don't understand. So I'll read it out. You can
So
get
basically,
-50 or something. It's
when this attacks, this is like the vivid strike text. You can look at the top. If you look at the top, you put it under it as a marker. If it has one marker, it gains hexproof. If it has two markers, it gains 1k power. And if it has three markers, everybody else gets 1k power. And it's on reverse clock kick with a bar. And you can change into the 3-2 with that same bar, so you can start clock kicking at 2. And then at the start of the opponent's draw phase, what?
No, go on.
And at the start of the opponent's draw phase, it is in the front row. You can pick one of your characters and give it 4k. So this is like a hexproof clock kicker that comes out to 2, and then you never have targets to clock kick again.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're making it sound way better than it actually is. So what happens is you summon it out with your bar, or with standby, God forbid, and then you, I don't know, if you summon it out with a bar, you clock kick something, hopefully, and then your opponent rams into your 14Ks, and then your clock kicks now have to direct for 3 every turn.
Okay, so the next worst part is all of your other finishes that are not tied to Climax combos are on reverse. So you can't use those either. And then the next worst part is, for the change to happen, you need to have the 3-2 in memory. And the only card that puts the 3-2 in memory is a 1-1.
We'll get to
the
that
1-1
later.
is kind of shitty, but it's still okay. But the problem is the 1-1 can only put one of these in memory. So if you want to change twice, it's fucking...
So
multiple turns.
The huge problem
No, that's not true. That's not true. You can put multiples in memory over multiple turns.
Yeah. You can put multiples in memories over multiple turns, but like, for example, what this doesn't allow you to do is use the 1-0 event, the red one, where you basically take 6 damage and you get like 3 stock and 3 cards in hand.
Come on, man.
There's another really big problem with this card that I've played a red-green version without standby, and like I don't even know why I tried to make that build work, but the thing is that the early play, it actually felt like you had a girlfriend because you have no hand, no resources after it. It's like, oh my gosh, my hand is non-existent after this. And then like you early play it, right? If they don't ram weenies into it and you're just swinging for big stuff, they have like suiciders on it, and you're just like sad either way.
Oh, I get it. So it's supposed to simulate having a girlfriend. You lose all of your money, and then your girlfriend goes away, and you have nothing. I see.
Exactly.
Oh, good flavor.
Look, it also makes you want to order 2 truckloads of Clorox now.
This card is hella overrated. I think it is
so overrated. My goodness.
It is incredible how overrated this card is. Yute's prices are ridiculous. I do not like. I opened a whole bunch of this, so I've got no issue with the prices myself. But I think this card sucks. I've tried to make it work in several different builds, including a green-red sort of deck that like Rex here was talking about. Like I tried the Megumi Waifu deck as well, and it was actually the best shell for this, but you still end up with like 2 cards in hand, and you're hoping that you trigger your bar, because if you don't, you're screwed, because your field is like, it's there, but you never actually get any push for game. All you get is these 2 soul beaters that whack, and your opponent has real finishers, and then you die. It's like
you're actually just better off playing standby, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
This is like the best shell for this is probably just a 1 or 2 of in like a standby deck as a standby target.
I tried making this like the main thing on your deck, but as we know, because how girlfriends work, you make the main thing of your deck, and you end up with nothing, and you also end up losing your sanity as well, and wanting to order now 3 truckloads of Clorox because you can't make anything work.
You need some help to get over a past girlfriend.
See, the thing is, I wouldn't even call this niche. I'd call this depression.
I think this card is niche, unfortunately.
There are like
the funny thing
the
is,
card isn't actually terrible, but there's so many problems with it.
The deck just doesn't function well with it as it is now, nor does it function well once you play it.
Like if you get say Musashi's or some other type of finisher that works into empty lanes, and then you maybe get anti-heal or something. Then you
Want
can
to know the
slowly
really-
start piecing stuff together for this to like actually work. But as is, there's just not any of the supporting tools to make this a good card.
The really depressing part about this card is that the supporting card, the 2/1, might be more playable by itself than
Yeah,
this card is.
it gains power and soul when it hits a level 3. Like, oh my goodness.
All right, so we'll leave him to his depression and move on to
I'm gonna go
Area,
fucking
right?
crazy, dude.
Arriving at Mayhem. It's a 00500. When this attacks, if you have one or fewer other characters, you may mill the top card of your deck. If it's level 0 or lower, put it in your back row. So, you know, the newish plus format, which is really not that consistent, but hey, you'll take what you can get. And when this is reversed in battle, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's level 1 or higher, you may put this in your stock.
So this is basically the worst card that reads like a good card I've seen recently.
I think it. I almost look. I would have tested it in the super stock building deck with the ones
I tested it there. It was
I
very
didn't test it.
disappointing.
It's airy, so I didn't test it. Give me a break.
Would you call this a trap card, Christian?
Kinda.
I think
At least in
this
that
is
specific deck. If you play like Airy Waifu or something, this is probably still a good card. But
Yeah.
this is deceptively not that great. Which kind of classifies as a trap.
Look, think about what the worst case scenario is. It's not even that unlikely. So like you attack and then you mill a level 2. And it's like, okay, I've got a 500 in front of it. That's fine. It'll be reversed. And then you reveal like, I don't know, a Climax.
You always
and
reveal
now
level zeros.
Now you've just got a 00500 that died and didn't do anything except mill you once. It's like, did I really just play that?
I mean, I also have the issue that I very often try field with that deck, and first turn I'd rather play the runner or the 0/0 Utaha that has like can bounce to my hand.
Yeah.
0/0 Utaha's like a good card though. That's not really fair.
Yeah, but like there's other cards I'd want to play turn 1, and then later on the first effect doesn't even matter. So like the first effect has been a blank for most of the time I've played this card, and then the second effect is okay, but that deck builds enough stock anyways, and you'd rather have like a bounce back, like a straight plus, than an extra stock, and they have the same chance of hitting. So.
Yep.
I think you don't play this before you max out on the bounce back Utaha, and you rarely max out on that card anyways. So
I think next we can go to the next card.
Not a fan. Let's go to Megumi, Unnecessary Thoughtfulness. It's a 0/0 4K. You cannot play events or backups from hand. So this is better than the other 4K. This is better than the other 4K, but it's like, I don't hate this card. It's been perfectly serviceable in the green-red deck, and it's been perfectly serviceable in the Megumi Waifu deck.
the art for this is so boring. Like, why did they make so many face shots where you can just see their face?
Do you see the flavor that Bushi was trying to imply on us? It's supposed to be boring, Christian.
Oh,
Jeez, boring girlfriend, dude.
It's the boring girlfriend.
Well, I think this is better than the other 4K. This does kind of conflict, like, with the green level 1, because the green level 1 wants to wall with counters, and if you can't play counters, that's like kind of shitty.
All right, next one. Megumi, a girlfriend without a raised flag. This is good art. It's a 1/0 4K. If you have the 3/2 Megumi in your memory via the 1/1 support, this gains 2/5, and this it's hexproof. So it's a 1065 hexproof with great art. It comes in foil, and the foil looks gorgeous. But the card itself is like very underwhelming. It's obviously
this is
niche.
the biggest sin Bushiroad has done. Is that they put
they could have made this the 0/0 4K. They could have made this the 0/0 4K.
They could have.
No,
but
they should have. They should have made this the 3/2.
Yeah, they should have made this the 3/2, and
they should have made the Utaha restander the Utaha light novel cover, and they should have made the Arary shitter the Arary fucking cover. I don't even know what that one looks like.
They had to put this art, which is incredibly good on a card that I really think is like freaking terrible.
No, the 1065 is fine.
I
played it.
don't
Like,
like
if you
this
played
at
a
all.
kicker,
I
you
really
played
don't
this.
like this card. Like I tried making it work so many times, it just didn't work for me at all.
This is just a 6-5, and you have like a 1-0 3K counter that's two-way splittable, or 3-5 counter that's 3-5 three times splittable. Like this card is
There are
perfectly
way
serviceable.
worse cards than this. There are way
There
worse
are way
cards.
worse
This
cards,
card
but
is
like it doesn't feel good playing it either. Like oh my goodness.
It's just a 6-5 that's basically
It's
as a
like
precondition if you
Hexproof
play the
is-
kicker.
Hexproof is so like I don't know.
Yeah, the Xproof
it-
is kind of unnecessary, but
Yeah, it's pretty unnecessary. Honestly, if this card was, I'm going to the theoretical now again. But if this card was like can't be reversed by auto effects, oh god. But nope. Oh well.
I mean, that would only be good against what, like Sunshine.
I'm
There's-
going insane.
it would be
doing
good
it.
against Saekano, and this is also protected
Yeah.
by Saekano Utaha Bomb, as Tom has nicely pointed out in the chat.
Yeah.
Which is not really relevant at all, because that deck just bombs it anyways.
Kappa. Alright, so this card is niche for obvious reasons. Alright, so this next card is the best art in the set, and it's not close. It's a 1055 Uta, the creator's Darkside. So it's a 1055 with Climax combo. The downside
Yeah,
is
the one bomb is better.
maybe it is. Yeah, you're probably right. When this is reversed in battle, you cannot use Encore for the turn. And Climax combo with a bar. When the battle opponent is reversed, if you have the bar in the Climax zone, put up to 2 cards from the top of your deck into stock.
Woohoo!
This
Kill me.
would be interesting if you had any payoff for having a bunch of stock, which you do not. So there's really no reason to like play this. You don't even have good
Pretty
ways of converting that stock into your hand. You really
Well,
just
the
have
2/2
stock.
man.
Is that a good way to convert stock
It's
into your hand?
fine.
It's like 2 stock plus 1 card. That's not really efficient.
It's fine.
At this point, what
Uh,
like at this point, the 1-0 Utaha combo gives you double the hand
Mm-hmm.
for stock.
I agree.
So why
I-
play this combo to like then spend stock to get less card in hand than you would have with the other? It just doesn't make any. This card doesn't have any proper shell to like play.
Yeah, it's another one of those cards just waiting for, an actual payoff.
Yeah, if you get like
So-
Coagino or something second set, then sure this might be an option.
Like, if it gets all these gold bar combos, but they're not, man. Like, oh my gosh. Oh no.
I think this card has more potential than 3-2 Megami. Just
Yeah, it does,
just
it
putting
does.
out there.
Yeah. it
Niche
actually-
and wait for second set.
Yeah, I
What
think
I
so.
get this.
That's what I think as well.
Send me a shotgun while you're at it.
Right, next card. Megami, Blessing Software. It's a 1/1/1K support. Dies to 2 kakis. This ability activates up to once per turn. When you
Actually, I
use a
was
startup
very
effect,
scared.
choose one character, and that character gains 1/5 for the turn. So that's not bad. And then it's got a startup effect of its own. So rest this, choose a Megami ideal girl in your waiting room, and send it to memory. So keep in mind, you can use this startup effect without a target. You can just use it to get the 1/5 power.
No, I
But
was
if
just
you
very
do-
scared because I was playing against Monogatari and I was actually scared of them double kiking me.
Man.
This card is niche. It goes into a Megami waifu deck, and that's about it, really.
Well, it goes in any deck that plays the bar combo.
I have seen a few standby decks that try and rush this out at 0 and then rush the 2/1 out at 1 and then try and do it and then try and do the combo at level 1.
Okay,
but
so
I
my
actually-
problem
I'm
with that
actually
is
not.
that it sucks. Like, you're losing
Yeah.
so much hand to get 1/3/2, and you're not going to do anything with the other 2 lanes. Like, this card as a support is fine, but the whole package is not worth it.
The whole man, it's just so much space for something so subpar.
Yeah, I really dislike that this is the only way to get the 3-turn memory.
I'll wait
And
for the second instead.
there's also a lack of cards that make you want to go for proper field-based game plan where this could like be good, really good back row.
Yeah. Trick your opponent into playing the Shinji Bomb. I actually don't know what that means, but okay.
It means you haven't played Ava enough.
Yeah, I haven't played Ava.
Oh,
Speaking of
wait.
which, it's the 2-1.
Wait, what does that have to do? Like the Shinji Bomb puts stuff into memory, like
P3.
events.
Oh.
Alright, next.
Doesn't it only
Oh.
does it only send events to memory?
Only it's only events, yeah.
It's only events, yeah. So it doesn't work. Sorry for that. What this is the 2-1 that changes into the 3-2. Cost is ditching a bar from hand, and then you send it to memory and summon the 3-2 from memory.
Yo, honestly, this card's secondary effect is probably better than its first.
Wait, no, you don't. Wait, what? You don't ditch a bar from hand. You ditch a card.
You ditch a card from hand, yeah.
Didn't I say that?
I thought you said bar, but that's cool. So you change into memory, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. I guess the nice, quote unquote, nice thing is that you get extra like free memory from this whole interaction. Which is cute. I've had games where I've had 5-6 memory.
Yeah, I've had games where I had like 7 cards in memory, but
And then
like,
you still die anyway.
you still
like,
die
no
because you have no hand. You
Yeah.
can't do anything apart from, oh, look, I have 7 cards in memory. I guess that's cool. You have a bit of
Congratulations.
compression.
You're
You have a bit of
worse version
compression.
of Fairy Tale.
Like, you're still dead. You're still dead.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this combo. I do think this card is playable because of that second effect. It's like a playable minus, which is really.
That's
silly.
nice foil art.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't like
next-
this stuff very much, but whatever. Alright, Airy, Futile Resistance, 002k. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may ditch a card from hand. If you do, add a game character in your clock to your hand, and then clock yourself.
It's just a regular clock swap. Oh god.
Yeah, it's just a regular clock swap. This is actually one of your better ditch outs, which is...
Yeah, it actually is. It's kind of depressing, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
There's
I mean,
there's a job
think
session at TD too, I guess, but like this is probably the best bet as a free discard outlet that you have,
I
probably.
think you just play the
Or do you just play
Climax
Darkside?
salvage? No, the ditch Climax salvage.
Oh yeah,
Because the only thing you really need to ditch are climaxes, and if you can't ditch the other shit, then whatever, you live.
yeah, all right, fair enough. Next card.
Alright, next card is...
Oh, this is
yeah,
yes.
This card is good. Megumi Image Change, 002k. When this is placed from hand to stage, put a game character from your hand in clock. If you do, look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck and add one of them to your hand. Put the rest in the waiting room. So
this card
This
is
is cool.
it's my vote for the best card in the set, simply because I think the best deck in this set is Standby, because the rest of the set kind of sucks. And look, I'm not a proponent of Standby, I just think it's the best deck in this set. Now, when I say it's the best deck, best Standby deck, you have to think, what does it do differently to the quote-unquote standard, which is SAO, right? Because SAO has one thing over this set, which is that it has a 3-2 support that it can standby out, and that's really strong. Whereas this set does not have that. Instead, it has this card, Megumi Image Change. So this card allows you to get anything from the top 3. That includes climaxes. So it's kind of like you're clocking 2.5 times each time you do this. And because, like, you're not actually getting the pluses, but you are digging that deep. And that's super powerful, because this means that unlike a normal standby deck, where if you're not super greedy, then you'll hold your standby till level 1 and standby out a level 2 card. In this deck, you can often get to the point where you draw a standby normally, and then you get another standby, which you can play to get out a 1-1 early, and use that one to take over one row for like the first half of the game. And then you can still have a standby for level 1, where you can get your level 2 support out, which supports your 1-1 actually. And this is the card that lets all of that happen. This also lets you get climaxes for your climax combo. This lets you mill 3 cards early on in the game if you find value in that. And if you have a heal, and there are lots and lots and lots of heals in this set, then you can basically clock yourself, pay no stock, and then search for a card that you're looking for. It might even be a level 3 combo, because like freaking what's her name? The Michiru and the Eriri, they both heal. There's level 3 Kato that heals. There's a lot of healers in this set. The level 3 TDU's as well.
There's also a pretty cool play with this outside of the standby build, which is in the 1-0 red event build. Yeah, you're at 1-0, you play this, you clock 1, and then you can do your stuff from there. You can even get the event from it, which is pretty cool. I've seen people take games like that, like all of a sudden I'm in 2-0, but then you can't do anything to my field, and I just kill you from there. I've seen that too, but I think this is really good in standby. Also in the event deck system.
Yeah.
This card's
just really good, period. Like, if this red, when this is placed from hand to stage, choose a card in the top 3 and add it to hand without the, the game character restriction, this would be like a standard format all-star. This is pound for pound what I believe to be the strongest card in the set, simply because it is what stands out. It is the thing in this set that no other set has, and the fact that you can play multiple standbys with some degree of reliability is why this standby deck is worth playing at all. And because of that, I'm calling this good meta. Meta is that other rating that I didn't mention at the beginning of Yellow, but whatever, just good meta is what I've got this as, because it's like
you know what other set has a marking that bounces itself.
Okay, sure, but I think this one's better, because if you don't have the standbys in the first place, your Margi's not very good, is it?
I think this is still, I don't know. Stable
This
plus,
is the
good
engine.
minus, good minus.
This is the engine, in my opinion. This card is so close to being broken, so close, but whatever. Next card is Megumi, Mysterious Pressure. It's a 002k. This one is interesting. It's a Maguro combo, so when it attacks, if you have the stocks on the Climax zone, check up to 4 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 game character to hand, put the rest into the waiting room, and your opponent cannot play events from hand until the next end of your opponent's turn. The interesting thing about this card is that it's level 0, which means you can play Climaxes starting from level 0 if you have multiples of this, get all of your hand back, and get all of that positive tempo, push while your opponent's in the uncompressed deck state, and get them to level, like mid-level 1, level 2, while they're still off balance.
I'm so confused by how this has no, restriction.
Yeah, this card has no restriction.
Because all the other Maguro effects had restrictions. I guess they balanced it by giving it 500 less power.
It's because it's at level 0. Maybe, I don't know.
The level 0, that doesn't make the Climax combo get costed differently.
Yeah. I like this card. This card's...
It seems really overstated. I think the card comes with a host of problems. It's a very powerful effect, but you kind of need to sack a lot to get this early in multiples.
I mean, going back to the clock, the Izumi quote Riki, right? You have tools that can help you
sure. If you go first, then it's somewhat likely you get 2 copies.
Yeah.
And it's easier to get the Climax with the Megami we just talked about as well.
Yeah.
There's just so many ways of molding your hand into making this a good start for a tempo rush. I like this card quite a bit. I think it's a playable plus. I wouldn't say it's good.
I think the early rush is worth something. Yeah, sure. But at that point, it doesn't matter if you ram, you're getting your card back. I don't know. It's not compatible with a lot of other a lot of decks. If you play this, you're probably playing a Megumi focused deck. Or I don't think you can play this with standby. I can't envision that being correct.
No.
You could play
even though this would be milled for targets, but no.
This card also occasionally gets a bit more value because your opponent, for some reason, is playing a deck that includes events, and at that point you're just really happy. Because yeah, there are games where you can loop this, and it's quite satisfying.
If you look this, you're probably sacking.
Yeah, it's probably sacking, but yeah.
Yeah, this is. I don't know what to give this. Playable plus. It's an interesting card.
Playable plus, I think, is fine. Alright, next card. Eriri, Anger Voltage. This is great flavor text. I like how they captured it. When this attacks, you may choose one of your other characters with Utaha in name and put it into stock.
Tom played with this quite a bit, huh?
This card is cool. I think it is really cute. Like, you just attack with the bomb, and then you put the bomb into stock.
This is actually a good card.
Yeah, it's a
Or if you want to, like, have nothing on your board, you can, like, attack with the bomb something, attack with the Climax combo thingy, and then you've got 2 salvages, and then you just take the Climax combo thing off the board, and your opponent can't reverse more than 1 row. It's neat.
It's quite Sugoi, I would say.
Sugoi. That's one way to put it.
Sweet card. Send your re-standard to stock.
Yeah, you attack with the third lane, then you attack with the restander, sack the third lane, and then you run in with this and send the restander to stock. And then you have empty board at level 3.
Yeah, it's a lot of creative things you can do with this, I think, which makes it pretty decent.
It also just makes your deck have a ton of stock.
It also makes your bombs really good value as well. It's like, I'm gonna hit you, trade a character, and then send it to stock. Oh man, look at that value.
It's pretty good. It's nice.
It's a pretty good card, yeah.
I don't think it's any better than just playable plus, though.
Yeah.
But it is cool. Like, it does require other cards to specifically work out.
The only problem this sort of has is that the deck doesn't really have a ton of mill. So usually when you do this effect, you just end up with more empty lanes than you'd like. Until like mid-game. Then the card gets insane. But
I feel like there are ways to try and compensate for that, right? Because you have Amagi and taps out Brainstorms. I don't think...
but you'll still get like 1 turn, maybe 2 turns where the opponent just gets to swing into empty lanes.
Yeah, that is...
Which is annoying.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
That's a cool card. This is the only card with Eriri that I actually play. This should be a testament to like how playable this card really is.
That you play Eriri.
Yeah.
Man, this card is more depression.
I've actually tried playing with this.
I tried playing this card too.
Yeah, I think this might be the better choice over the TD55 for the counter-centric build, but you have to high roll with this. It's a marker off.
I just marker climaxes every time.
The art of the card perfectly sums up what I feel about this card. It's actually just question marks.
Dude, I stand by this out at level 0, and the first thing I do is marker a climax. Then I attack once, the second thing I do is fucking marker a climax.
Nice. That's exactly how we evaluate.
And then
cards,
and then I just play over it the next turn. Yeah, that's exactly how you evaluate cards by one-time situations.
Anyway, I think this card is like...
Well, we should actually say what it does.
Like
test.
niche, right?
This cannot side attack. For each mark, it gains a level in 1/5, and when the battle opponent of this becomes reversed, either turn, you may look at the top card, and if you do look at the top card, you put it under it as a marker.
It's shelter, but it's like an upgraded shelter. I just don't like how
it would be so much cooler. It would be so much cooler if this could look at the top card, and then you can choose to put it under it as a marker.
Yeah. That'd be too strong in Bushiroad's eyes.
I think then this becomes interesting.
You're basically checking for triggers at that point, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you're checking for triggers, or you can like put cards away during your opponent's turn, like check for climax or whatever.
Yeah.
Then it has like some cool applications.
Yeah. I feel like if that was the case, it would have done it with Vivid Strike like ages ago.
Yeah, Vivid Strike is the same.
Yeah. But yeah, this card is just, man.
I don't think there's a reason to like play this card and take risks for like mediocre reward. So it only really is like a Megami waifu type of card. So I'm
Yeah.
calling it niche.
In the Megumi wall build, I'm playing the Uta PR instead of this.
That's probably better. That's not probably. It's just better. It's just better.
I mean, if you high roll with this, it's kind of sweet, but
Yeah, but like, what? How often you gonna high roll? Not that often, I don't think.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's if you do high roll, it feels good, but if you don't high
Yeah.
roll, it feels
Yeah,
bad.
play this in the deck where you don't care, but like I wouldn't play this in an actual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right,
next
next.
Utaha, advice from Senpai. It's a 2/1/7K. When this is reversed, it's an anti-change clock bomb. If the level of the battle opponent is higher than your opponent's level, you may put the top card of your opponent's clock in the waiting room. If you do, put that character into clock. I would play this, but I don't play it simply because oh god. So we're having Saekano syndrome here, where every time an Uta card comes up, Tom's just typing the chat and saying you can send it to stock with Eri, which is correct. But I'm not gonna arbitrarily value this above the bottom deck anti-change Michiru simply because.
Well, in the deck you play this and you don't play blue, so
Yeah, of course. But in the deck you do play blue in, then this is obviously not the card you play.
in the deck you do play blue and you also don't play the area that sends stuff to stock, so this is a moot point.
I've tried this in the red green, as like a last resort case where like I can't kill the level 3, and I don't think it's come up because usually it's like early play the red 3/2 Kato and then early play early play ideal girl. You swing like maybe you direct give the power and you usually get through people, but I actually don't know.
This is
Yeah.
just the anti-change bomb. If you need those, then you play this.
It's probably like against like what, like Fox
There's-
or maybe like opposing Megumis, but like I don't.
I
It
mean,
gets
the
rid of,
biggest thing is still Vivid Strike,
Yeah, it's
But-
still with
Yeah.
the strike. Yeah, you play this like, just.
but
for
that's
Vivid Strike, yeah.
dropping. So anti-change clock bombs drop a bit in value, but they're still like pretty decent.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
playable.
Playable, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
fine.
it's a Tomoya.
Tomoya, Sudden Enlightenment, 00500. Your other character in the front row center slot gains 500 power and
Absurd.
Holy
Wonderful
shit!
ball.
You have to pay one and rest two and then
yeah,
fucking get one
K1
back.
tap 2.
Jesus, get
Um,
this out of my face! It's a Tomoya for one.
It's the flavor. It's the flavor, right? He has to put so much effort and work in to get this proposal up, and then Eri and Uta just kind of throw it away costlessly. That's the flavor.
I'm actually gonna wake up depressed tomorrow.
That's the flavor, dude.
I mean, what this allows you to do is like, it's kind of your advantage engine because you can keep doing this, and then the other Utaha that did just the event can plus you again, so then you pay 1 to plus twice, which is pretty sick actually. The problem is that you're playing all these bad cards, or like cards that don't really do a lot, and you don't really have a payoff for like doing all this shenanigan.
All these
Things.
slots to do nothing.
If you play this in your Megumi bar combo deck, you'll never run out of hand, so there's that.
Yeah. But like, man. Next, I guess.
Yeah.
It-
Next,
Get that out of my
it's-
face.
It's niche.
right, next card, Eri,
Oh,
outfit
it's
design.
these combo.
002K. If you have another Uta acting directions, another 002K, all your other gain characters gain 500 power. And when a climax is placed in the climax zone, give a character 500 power for the turn. So if
Honestly,
you have the
just-
Uta,
1K. This is just
1K.
worse than the trial deck.
Honestly, just play Married Life. Yeah, like you actually value the 500 power from the Utaha as well, right? Is that what the Utaha does?
see, yes, and it also has the off-time Makoto thing, pay to tap to salvage a game
Yeah,
trade.
sure.
I don't,
Sure.
Anyway, the
honestly,
thing is-
just play Married Life, man. I mean, come on.
The reason this is not good is simply because you never want two married lives, and that is often what you're going to like. That's effectively what you're doing with two global supports in the back row. So this is like budget deck stuff. I don't think you play this in anything. And like, keep in mind,
hard to stop.
think about like what cards are you actually supporting with this? Like the marker Megumi, that's really it. Like there's not really any much else. I guess like various standby 1/1s, but in standby you have way better decks. Tom is suggesting the Izumi vanilla. I'm gonna mute him. Anyway, this and the Uta, which is the next card, I think are just bad. I don't think they do anything, which is sad because that's a cute Uta. Alright, next card, Megumi, Huffy Face, 0025. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may choose a card in your hand and put it into stock. Quick pop quiz. Where did this effect first appear?
Shining Force. That's a startup. That's a startup.
Wait, is the one I'm thinking of startup? It might be.
Yeah, it's like rest this,
and
put a card from hand to stock, and then you can rest this to pay 2 to search something.
Yeah, the one I'm thinking of is also a startup. But
honestly, just play 1/0 Airy. Man, I'm gonna cut my tongue off after that.
Yeah, no, don't play this. It's silly.
This is the worst version of a card.
It's so like why would you?
It's just playable in standard, but that's a really terrible reason to play this card.
I think even in standard you have like better ways for this effect.
Man, it's a backup 1500. Backup 1500.
Yeah, it's your only level 1 counter.
Yeah, it is your only costless counter.
Yeah, you only cost level 1 counter.
So I guess
which means this is automatically playable.
in the Megumi waifu, it's not bad. I guess it's a splittable 3K counter, and then
3/5 with the brainstormer.
Oh yeah, 3/5 with the brainstormer. Yeah, so it's not bad, I guess. But you have to, it's okay. Yeah, there's nothing else to say about it. It's so standard.
I don't know why they keep being so stingy with 2K counters recently, but
I think the reason behind is probably like, oh, you have like 1500, you have a splittable 1500 and a splittable 500. If we give you 2K, maybe a bit too much, which I don't think it's that much, considered how boring and turd the set is. But yeah. Next up.
Alright, next card. That was a lot of talk about a 1/5 counter. Megumi, everyone watch your life. So 1045. Up to once a turn, when you use a stop effect, this gains 1/5 for the turn. And character encore. Okay, so surely this is what you play over the TD55, right?
No, I mean you play the TD55 as like a combo that's not super weak on defense.
The combo's ass though.
I mean,
yeah, it's still a combo.
Man,
I mean, I wouldn't play it either. It's just what I've seen, but I think I would play this if it was Bismarck instead of having character encore.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. If this card had 1000 power and more, I think this card would be okay.
Yeah.
But at this point,
which is kind of a lot. This card is okay if it has 1K power more. A lot of cards would be okay if they had 1K more power.
I wouldn't even call it playable minus, probably. I'd probably just call it like niche. You probably just play this in Kato.
Why do you play this over the coin flip PR? Over the Uta?
I would not. I would not. I think
there's not really a lot of reason to do that. So
I wouldn't call it niche minus. Yeah, just niche. Yeah, coin flip PR.
I'm on niche. I think this is just niche.
Yeah.
Alright, next card, and last character, Eri, Rival Instinct, 2/7K. If you form other game characters, this gains -1 level in your hand.
Can we just move on?
Yes, we can move on. This card is bad.
2/7K encore that you can summon at level 1. This has been relevant never.
I think like that's actually worse than a 1/1 vanilla against everything except bombs, right?
Yeah.
Alright, next card. Gaming All Night, 1/0 event. Rest 2 game characters and they don't stand during your next stand phase, so presumably your back row. If you rest 2 characters this way, search your deck for up to 1 game character, add it to your hand, then add 1 game character in your waiting room, put it in your stock. Then you can put this on the bottom of your library. So all in all, this cantrips for a character in your library. This puts an extra card to stock. And that's about it, really. The bottom deck thing is like whatever. It doesn't really make a big difference.
Oh,
Card is actually
this
He's
card is
sort
fine
of
with
decent.
Eriri, I think.
I
I
think
don't
this
think
card
it
is like
was intended to use.
you don't brainstorm that much, so this is fine. And you bounce one of the. I mean, the bounce doesn't really matter, but
There was talk about this being okay with 1-0 Eriri, right? Because you can just bounce and then you just negate you just ignore
Yeah.
the rest 2 deficit from it. But like, man, I don't know. That, that's like the only use I can think of. Because like I feel like the rest 2 and you can't stand the next phase is kind of like, it's kind of iffy to me
it's a
at
big
least.
deal, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Because it
less of
limits
a
what-
it's
what
less
not.
of a big deal than a lot of people make it out to be, but it's still annoying. I think this
Maybe,
is the
but-
most playable event, though.
Sure, but I think a lot of the time, when you're tapping your back row, it's not out of necessity. Well, okay, some people brainstorm every turn. That's not me. But when you do want to brainstorm early, it's not out of. It's usually out of necessity. It's not something you
Yeah,
predict.
but you have the Amagi, right? You can still use Amagi with this.
Yeah, sure. But what's your other back row? Like it's probably the brainstorm, right?
Yeah,
Or it's the
Or-
1/1 Megami, which is like something you
or
want
it's
to
the
tap.
0/0 that bounces itself.
Oh, well, okay, sure. If that's what you want to do, then yeah, I mean that's okay. But this payoff
And then you can
still
even
isn't,
bounce
like,
both of your back row cards to negate the
Yeah, that
10
I
stand
agree. You
drop.
can
Yeah.
bounce back, but that's still not this is not an event which does an enormous amount. You get one extra stock, and that's not super like overwhelming. You can do cute stuff with other cards, but like I don't think that's necessarily something worth it.
There's just not really slots that you'd want to commit to effect like this. But I think
Just-
the effect itself
I
is
think-
like
I think-
decent.
I think
Okay.
just do Drop Searcher or something. I don't know. You do get a stock out of this, I guess, but
Yeah,
I think
the
if
stock-
it-
the
before
stock-
I
all the
played
trouble.
drop searchers, I play this. I think, but
I
I'm not
played
playing
drop-
drop
I-
searchers.
actually, there is an argument to play this over the Drop Searcher, right? Because you have the really good, what's it, the top 3 check thing. That could possibly make this work, but just because there's an ability to get it more consistently.
I mean,
I've played with this, so I
never, like,
just initial thoughts.
drop- like if you just say you play 2 drop searchers
Uh-huh.
and instead you play 2 of this, the only time where this is like comes up that you can't like search where you could search for a drop search is if you brainstorm into it. So that's not really something that will actually happen a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So this is probably just better than the drop searcher, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just not playing the drop searcher, so I don't have slots for this either. But this is like one of the more playable events.
Yep.
I can't
For
think
sure.
of a better one at least.
I do like the 1-0 red event. I think it's funny.
It's funny in the same way that freeze and explosion are funny, but those still aren't very good.
And I think the deck can do quite a bit with the.
I would like
things
that
that
event a
give
lot
them-
more if you were able to get 2 of the 3-turn memory.
That is right. Yeah.
Okay.
Tom says it's worse than a Drop Searcher.
But that's because Tom's
It's not-
favorite
well-
cards in the entire game are drop searches. Ignore him.
Well, this is not a ditch out.
yeah,
unlike
it's not,
Drop Searcher.
Yeah. It gives you 1 stock and it searches you a character. So.
But the stock difference is 2. So
Yep. I think we're done with this card.
yeah,
I think is there any?
I think we're done with this color, right?
Yeah, that's the end of green. So thanks for listening to the end of green. We'll be back at some point in the future with red and blue.